Hello there and welcome to this video. My name is Mary Amondo, in charge of training and career advisory services here at Corporate Staffing. And today we are discussing a very interesting topic when it comes to interviews, and that is how to wow an interview. Every candidate wants to make that memorable, lasting impression, and with the hopes that you'll be able to get an offer after the interview. So as usual, I am joined by one of our interview coach here at Corporate Staffing Services who will be joining me in this discussion. Thank you so much, Evelyn, for joining.
Thank you, Mary, for having me.
Yes, we are looking at interviews again.
Right.
And now we are paying more attention on how best can I be able to wow that interview that I have been called for.
Right.
And when we look at wowing an interview, maybe we begin with what are some of the key elements, perhaps, that I can be able to impress when it comes to interviews?
Oh, great. So there are quite a few elements when it comes to wowing an interview. And the first one is doing a thorough research on that company. Get to understand their vision, their mission, because you never know, questions might come from there. And when you're able to answer them, you stand out, okay? It is also good to do a research on the job description, just for you to align your experience with the role that has been given there, so that you can package yourself as a solution. And you are also required to speak clearly in that interview. Yeah. And that, of course, exudes confidence, which is very, very key. And also show professionalism. When you enter into that interview room, how have you dressed? Have you dressed to the part? Yeah, that is very, very key. So it is very important for candidates to actually look onto that. And also we look at highlighting achievements, if you have any. It is not a must, but if you have, it is very, very important for you to highlight achievements in that interview. It makes you stand out from the rest of the candidates, Mary. Yes.
What stands out for me with all these elements you are highlighting is the fact that as a candidate I need to prepare. So how important is preparation? And perhaps you can highlight some of the effective strategies that a candidate can use to be able to research and prepare well for an interview.
Oh yeah, well, our preparation is very key when it comes to wowing an interview because it demonstrates professionalism. It also shows your interest in that role as a candidate, yeah? So you can see how preparing for an interview is very key when it comes to impressing the interviewers. So some of the effective ways that you can employ as a candidate is doing a thorough research on that company. Get to know who are they in the job market, what do they do, okay? Because they might ask you questions from there and you don't want to go blank, and you just coming up with an answer concerning the company during an interview, it shows that you have an interest in them and it will be easier for them to also remember you. Okay, and it is also important for you as a candidate to understand the job description. Understanding the job description puts you in a better place. You get to know what is expected of you as a candidate when it comes to that particular role. You can also practice commonly asked questions in interviews because there are usually commonly asked questions in interviews that most of the time don't miss. So when you go through questions like tell me about yourself, it becomes easy for you to remember and have a clue when it comes to that interview. And also you can prepare questions that you can ask in an interview.
Questions to ask the interviewer.
After the interview is done, because normally there is that session for, do you have any questions for us? And if you have
then
questions
the candidate
to ask,
goes blank.
Yes, most of the time. So it is very, very important to come up with questions, at least 2 questions and 1 recommendation to ask interviewers after the interview. Yes, Mary.
Interesting. Sometimes you find candidates going for an interview and yet they don't even have the job description for the role they are going to be interviewed for. So it comes in handy as part and parcel of preparation.
Right, yes.
Interesting. I know someone watching, there's quite a lot that they've been able to get.
Yes.
What final advice would you have for that candidate who just feels nervous or maybe intimidated by the thought of, I really have to wow that interview, but I don't know how to go about it?
So it is normal for candidates to feel nervous when it comes to interviews. And the first advice I'd give is to practice relaxation techniques, such as deep breathing, just before the interview itself. That one helps you to calm down. And then they can also focus on the value that they're bringing to that role. What are they bringing onto the table? Let them focus on that. And lastly, they should also get to know that nerves can be managed through enough preparation and even enough practice. Yes, Mary.
Interesting. I like the aspect of taking deep breaths.
Yes.
Sometimes I even tell candidates, you just need to take a glass of
Yes,
water
yes.
before walking into the
Right.
interview room.
Yes, Mary.
And of course, seek coaching. Seek
Right.
for coaching.
Yeah,
How would
yeah,
you,
right.
what would you say about that?
Actually, seeking for coaching is very, very key when it comes to interview preparation as a whole, because it helps you get to know how to prepare. So I would actually also advise candidates to seek interview coaching sessions so that they can get to know how to prepare for that actual interview that they've been called for. It will help them have that confidence, yeah, to overcome some of the challenges that come with interviews, how to answer the questions, how to structure their answers when it comes to interviews. Yeah, so with interview coaching will also be part of just helping them
To overcome
the
the
nervousness, yes, when it comes to interviews.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
You're
We look
welcome,
forward to
Mary.
seeing you in the next video, of course,
Thank you
with
so
a
much,
different
Mary.
topic.
You're right.
Indeed, as Evelyn has mentioned, I believe you have been able to pick one or two things that will come in handy as you prepare to be able to wow that upcoming interview that you have. It is okay to feel nervous, but the beauty with nervousness is that you can actually be able to manage it. That is why it is important to sometimes seek for a third-party perspective. Get someone to coach you, to prepare you for that upcoming interview, and you'll be able to get feedback even on the level of nervousness that you have and how best you can be able to manage it with the main goal of wowing that interview. We look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.